All right, we are here with the Track and Field River States Conference Men's Media Day for the men's track and field side. Here, this is new on the River States Conference website. From left to right, we have Montez Moore, a junior from Louisville, Kentucky. Montez, can you raise your hand? There's Montez. We have Coach Walls in the middle, Coach Jay Walls. He's in the middle, and then on the far right, we have Jacob Cossix, a junior from Island Pond, Vermont. How's everyone doing? We doing okay?
We're doing good, Dylan. Good. Excited.
Good. All right, let's lead off with Coach Walls. Coach, what are you kind of most looking forward to as the season gets underway?
Well, our season got underway this past weekend, so we had our first meet under our belt. So I'm looking forward to continue to watch the team grow and progress, and see what kind of marks they can put, out there on the track and also in the field events. So really, it's just about the growth, for personal growth, both on the track, but then also off the track as well too.
Yeah, and you started the program here. Well, it was kind of more or less a restart on the women's side, and then on the men's side, it was a complete restart a few years ago. Talk about what that process was like, starting the program.
Yes, sir, that is correct. Back in 2018, we, I guess you could say, reintroduced the women's track and field program, and then the following year after that, we started the men's track and field program here at Midway. It was a lot of work. It's exactly what it was when you're trying to start two programs pretty much from scratch. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Got to recruit a lot of student athletes, meet a lot of people, and develop a lot of relationships. So we're still looking to continue to grow and build off, the few small successes we've had in these first few years as well too. So.
Montez, I believe you were on that first team, weren't you?
Yeah, our first year coming in, I think we had like 20-something, 27 students on that team or something like that. So
what was that like being a part of a new team like that?
Being the first, being a pioneer for something always feels great. It's like you're the first to do something, so everything you do is going to be the record. It's going to be the standard for somebody else coming in. So that's why I like to come in here, being able to go to standard.
And Jacob, you've kind of helped build on that process of building this program up and making the program that it is now. Last year you were outdoor track athlete of the year. What's it like being a part of this program?
It's been really cool to see the growth throughout the years. Obviously, did not expect to be running track or cross country coming here, so it's been a journey these past couple seasons, and I really think this year we have a lot of pieces in different spots. If we can put all that together, we're gonna have a good shot at it.
Yeah, what was that process like whenever you originally came here for basketball, but now you're one of the best runners in the conference? So what was that transition like?
It was really weird at first, especially the training. Like, my mindset going into every day was go hard, run as fast as you can every day, because that's the same mentality I had from basketball training. So to shift that took a while, and I think Coach Jay can attest to that. Some of my early runs and races were interesting, but with time, just learning to pick up on those training, the differences in training, and then there's a lot of strategy that goes into distance running that you don't see unless you actually know the sport. So it's been fun.
Coach, you kind of already hit on this, but you guys already have one meet in the books. How would you kind of assess where your team is? I know it's really early in the process, and we've still got a month out from conference, from indoor championships. How would you kind of rate where your team is at this point?
Oh, before I hit on that, I also want to include that Montez, his freshman year, was also voted newcomer.
He was. That's right. He was newcomer of the year. I can't. I apologize for that one.
I could have won field after this year, but they didn't want to vote for me.
We can't forget that.
I apologize for that omission.
Got to give credit where credit is due, because he's been like I said, the pioneer for our program for the most part. Him and his whole event group, our jumps group. So. But no, we got the first one under the belt. It was a very exciting meet. We took a very small group since it was at University of Kentucky, but everyone performed well. I believe we broke 4 school records. I believe we had about 7 or 8 personal bests, and I think we only took about 12 or 13 student athletes. So it was a great starting point for us, and as I mentioned earlier, we're just excited to continue to watch the growth of the program and all the student athletes.
Montez, how would you? I know it wasn't quite what you want to do now that you suffered a bit of an injury, but how would you assess where you were at going into that meet?
Going into the meet, I felt great. I felt like, coming down the runway, it was like going to be one of those good jumps. Warm-ups was fine, everything was fine. It's just one of those freak injuries, but it's fine. Like, I'm on the road to recovery, and I'm planning to be back in conference meet.
Okay. Well, good. What was it like being there at UK against all those Division I athletes, seeing all those Division I athletes that you see on TV, and you're like, man, what's that like being there next to them?
I mean, it's like kind of like shocking. Like, you see them on TikTok, you see them on Instagram, you see them like doing their thing, and you're like, dang, that's that person, that's this person. It's like, oh, I follow it. But then you gotta compete against them, so you gotta lock in and be like, all right, now I gotta show you what I can do. But it was just like, I like the experience. I like seeing like those type of athletes, how they're built different, like all that type of thing.
Yep, Jacob. What was it like being there at UK, and how would you assess your performance? You were very close to the NAI standard in that meet in the 3K. What was that like?
Yeah, I really didn't know what to expect going into this one, coming off a long break from cross country to now. I knew I had the aerobic side ready to go for this race, but I haven't really done much speed stuff, so I was like, go out there, compete, see what happens. And it was a lot of fun, especially like Montez saying, being out there with some big dogs. That's always fun, gets the competitive juices flowing. And
I was gonna say, especially in the 3K, I know you were competing against a ton of Division I athletes in your event right there.
Yeah. So that was always a fun experience. I know 3 years ago was my first ever meet that I traveled to, was at UK, and I did not get to like compete in that meet.
Mm-hmm.
So coming back this year, running and being out there competing with those guys was pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. Coach, who are some kind of returners that you're looking at to kind of step up, and also some newcomers that you have that we should keep an eye on?
As far as returners go, you've got two of them sitting right here next to me in Montez. As I said, he's been a pioneer for our men's track and field program here, and he's led us in the jumps. He scored numerous points for us, both indoor and outdoor, in his career. And then, like you mentioned, Jacob has stepped up, and he's been one of our best distance runners, not only for us, but also in the conference. So these two guys right here, Chase Baker is returning as well in the throws for us. So he's had a conference runner-up finish before. Rosh Gill also in the throws. Let's see, our jump squad, sprint squad. We got Abdul Salah who's coming back in the short sprint, so he'll be a huge help. And I know I'm going to forget somebody, but you're putting me on the spot.
But yeah, with track and field, it's always important for you guys to everyone be clicking at once at the most important time, because it really is. It's an individual, but it's also mainly team, obviously, because you want to do your best individually, but you've also got to think about the team aspect of it as well, Coach. Right?
Yes, sir. That is correct. I like to call track an individual team sport. The team is going to do as good as each individual does. So that's why I call it an individual team sport. So we have quite a few returners coming back, but we did add some new fresh faces also. Incoming freshman, we have Cole Sexton in the throw, so he's going to help out and be huge in the jumps. We brought in a lot of jumpers. Harry Van Wy, we've got Latavian Hamilton. Like I said, I know I'm going to forget people because I'm up here on the spot. But yes, we did bring quite a few newcomers in as well too.
Good. Montez, what are you kind of most looking forward to this season once you get back out there and competing?
Mainly just getting competing, having fun. Like some of my guys, like it's their last season, so like just competing with them for like their last season is like one of the things I'm looking forward to getting back.
Jacob, what about you?
Same thing, just cherishing this final season, not sure what's next, and then really excited for the 5K. That's kind of that sweet spot I'm hoping to.
That's kind of mainly what you feel most comfortable running in?
For the indoor, yeah, that's what I'm going after. So
okay, well, good. Coach, we'll kind of wrap this up with you. One last question: What are kind of your expectations on the men's side for this upcoming season?
Well, our expectations don't change. Our expectations are to try to go out and compete, and hopefully bring some hardware home back to Midway University. So like I said, we've got about a month and a half left, so we're going to go out there and we're going to give it our best shot.
All right, Montez, Coach, and Jacob, thank you for your time and good luck this season.
Thank you.